Welcome to the Brain Gym Daily. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of us may encounter at some point in our professional lives: toxic workplaces. A toxic work environment not only affects your productivity but also takes a toll on your mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. The good news? You can learn to recognize the signs early, protect your peace, and take steps toward a healthier, more balanced work life. Let's explore what makes a workplace toxic, how it impacts your overall health, and most importantly, what you can do to regain control of your well-being. A toxic workplace isn't just one with high demands. It's a place where negative behavior, poor communication, lack of respect, and unhealthy dynamics take root. Toxic environments are often characterized by a culture of fear, hostility, and constant stress. It's the kind of environment where employees dread coming to work because they feel undervalued, disrespected, or unsupported. There are several key signs to look out for. First, consider the communication style. Is there transparency, or are important decisions made behind closed doors? Poor communication can create confusion, frustration, and mistrust among employees. In a healthy workplace, communication flows freely, and everyone knows what's expected of them. Second, assess the leadership. Are managers supportive and encouraging, or do they play favorites and breed competition? Leadership sets the tone for the entire workplace. If managers are inconsistent, unapproachable, or use fear to motivate, it's a sure sign of a toxic environment. Third, watch out for negativity and gossip. Constant negativity is contagious and can drain your energy quickly. When the overall atmosphere at work is filled with complaints, blame, or backstabbing, it not only affects team morale but also impacts your mental health. Working in a toxic environment has significant effects on both your mind and body. The constant stress and pressure that comes from poor management, unrealistic expectations, or lack of boundaries lead to burnout. Burnout manifests as emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and reduced personal accomplishment. You may feel detached from your work, unmotivated, or even question your own abilities. Physically, chronic stress can lead to headaches, digestive issues, insomnia, and a weakened immune system. You might also notice heightened feelings of anxiety or depression. When you're constantly in fight or flight mode, your body and mind can't function optimally. This is why recognizing the signs of a toxic workplace is critical, not just for your professional life, but for your overall well-being. Let's look deeper into some of the clear signs you're working in a toxic environment. These red flags often go unnoticed at first, but they become more obvious over time. One major indicator is poor communication. If you're constantly unclear on expectations or receiving conflicting information, it's a sign of deeper problems. Poor communication leads to confusion, frustration, and a breakdown in teamwork. Another red flag is unrealistic expectations. When you're asked to take on an overwhelming amount of work with little to no support, it becomes impossible to maintain a healthy work-life balance. Over time, this creates chronic stress and leads to burnout. High turnover is another sign of toxicity. When people frequently leave, it's often because they've recognized the environment isn't conducive to their well-being. If many of your colleagues are leaving, consider asking yourself why. Additionally, watch for workplace bullying or manipulation. This includes verbal abuse, passive-aggressive behavior, or exclusion from important conversations. A healthy workplace fosters inclusion, collaboration, and mutual respect. Lastly, look out for favoritism. If certain employees are consistently given special treatment, it creates an unfair and hostile environment for everyone else. This leads to resentment and undermines trust within the team. If you recognize these signs, the first step is acknowledging that the environment is affecting you. It's important to protect your mental and emotional well-being, even if you can't leave the job right away. Let's talk about some strategies that can help. Start by setting boundaries. If your workplace expects you to be available 24/7 or to take on tasks outside your role, it's time to establish clear limits. Communicate your availability and stick to it. For example, let your team know when you're off the clock and resist the urge to check emails during personal time. Setting boundaries is essential for preserving your mental energy. Next, find allies. Look for colleagues who are supportive and share your values. Building a network of like-minded individuals can help you feel less isolated and provide emotional support. Venting frustrations to a trusted colleague or brainstorming ways to improve the environment can make a significant difference in your experience. It's also helpful to keep documentation. If you're dealing with ongoing issues like bullying, favoritism, or unrealistic expectations, make a record of important incidents. Keeping documentation helps if you need to bring your concerns to HR or leadership down the line. Practice self-care. This means finding time outside of work to recharge. Whether it's through exercise, meditation, hobbies, or spending time with loved ones, taking care of your mental and physical health is crucial. You can't pour from an empty cup, so make sure you're recharging outside of the toxic environment. Lastly, consider your long-term options. If the toxicity is too deep-rooted and there's no path to improvement, it may be time to start looking for another job. A toxic work environment isn't worth sacrificing your health. Plan your exit strategy, update your resume, and start networking. Everyone deserves to work in an environment that is respectful, supportive, and positive. A healthy workplace promotes your growth, challenges you in constructive ways, and values your contributions. It's where you can thrive, both professionally and personally. When you're in a healthy work environment, you feel motivated, appreciated, and energized. You're able to balance work with the rest of your life, which leads to greater happiness and productivity. If you're currently in a toxic workplace, it's important to remind yourself that this is not the norm, and it's not something you have to endure forever. You have the power to take control of your professional life by setting boundaries, seeking support, and prioritizing your well-being. If you can't change the environment, change your relationship to it. Remember, you are worthy of a healthy, balanced work life, and there are better opportunities out there. Thank you for watching the Brain Gym Daily. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing and sharing it with someone who may be struggling in a toxic workplace. Together, we can create a healthier, more positive work environment for everyone. Stay strong, and take care of your well-being.